I'm not here to sugarcoat nothing. I grew up in Milwaukee, in the hood, where making it out was never promised. I've been through betrayal, pain, and times where I almost lost everything, including my life. But I'm still here. I'm still standing. This channel is about real stories, raw lessons, and surviving what most people don't even talk about. If you from the struggle or even want the truth, you in the right place. This is my story, and it's just getting started. What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing today, man? Yeah, it's a rainy one today, man. I decided to jump on, finish off my little story on part 2 of how I almost got 48 years in Georgia. Man, this is a crazy story, but I appreciate y'all, man, for enjoying my stories, man. Y'all please subscribe, share, comment. It's going to help my channel out, man, and I appreciate all the love y'all giving me, man. With that being said, I'm going to get into me almost getting to 48 years. Like I said, I was in the county jail. They read off my stuff. Me being, having that boot on my leg, they had to classify me. And when they classified me, they sent me to the medical unit. So I get in there, fresh off the street. I think I had the T-beater shorts on. This is my first time in jail in Georgia, man. And it was pretty much the same thing as in Milwaukee. But the only thing is the medical unit. So when they put me in the medical unit, in Milwaukee, when they put you in a medical unit, you out, all day, just like the regular pod. They ended up putting me in a medical unit because I had the boot on, man. I'm like, okay, it's the hole. I'm like, what the? I said, man, so I just get off the street, just get off the street and go straight to the hole. So now I'm stuck in a room 23 hours a day. I'm mad as ever. I'm talking to the guard, telling them, look, just take me to a regular dormitory, whatever, man. My leg okay. I think they just put me up in there for the safety because I guess if you hurting or whatever, they don't want you to get injured by no other inmate to take advantage of you or what have you. So I sit up in the medical unit for about a month because my ankle. They finally cleared me saying that my ankle was okay, so I didn't have to have the boot on. I was limping around. Really, it wasn't okay, man. I just didn't care, man. I wanted to get out that room, that 23 hours a day. Sometimes they let you out for rec, sometimes they don't. And definitely being in there for what I was in there for, I was heated, especially finding out the charges, all of this, I'm heated. But I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I got a case. They're gonna end up throwing it out because, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I'm like, they're gonna end up throwing it out because really, the tow truck drivers, they did some illegal stuff and, they really ain't got no case. And how they charging me with a felony in possession and I didn't have no gun on me or nothing like that, and when the officer came up on the scene, the gun that he found in the back seat in a bag, my wife had just placed it there while he was standing right there. So he trying to say that the gun was in my reach, but I'm like, my wife placed it there while you right there, and she told y'all that the guns was in the trunk in her name. Anyway, man, so that's neither here nor there. So I end up getting out the medical unit. They end up putting me on a pod. Spent about, and I'm a Muslim now, so it was a few Muslims on the pod, a lot of Bloods on the pod. I think it was like about three Crips on the pod. And it was cool. I mean, it wasn't bad, and like I said, in Wisconsin, especially in the county, you ain't got to worry about shanks like that. But up here, yeah, I see, people walking around with shanks. That's my real first experience dealing with people walking around with these shanks, and I gotta, really watch my back and watch my life. Being in the county jail, I almost got into it one time with a guy that's the bully of the pod. He trying to bully everybody. Yeah, my leg's still hurting, so he trying to mess with the weak. He ended up trying me, but being Muslim, he was a Muslim brother too, but he was one of those Muslim brothers slash gang member, saying that he was a G. And when you're a Muslim, you cannot be GD or vice versa, or any other kind of gang. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like having, put it like this, you cannot follow two laws, put it that way. One of those laws are going to conflict with one another. You see what I'm saying? And being in the gang, you got certain rules and regulations and certain laws that you actually follow. And being a Muslim, you got rules, regulations, and rules that you actually follow, but it got nothing to do with a gang. That's, you gotta, we big believers in that. Once you choose God, God is God. Choose Allah, Allah is Allah. You cannot be choosing everything else. It's like worshiping another God, but neither here nor there. So, I sit up in there, man. I think, when I went to the court, thinking I'm about to get bail. Like I said, they had that PO hold on me, still trying to get bail because Wisconsin had the PO hold on me. So if I get bail there, Wisconsin, that's going to push Wisconsin hand to either come and get me or wait that little time. And if they don't come and get me, I could get out. So, man, I'm caught all around. I think I didn't have a bail at first. So my first court date, man, they denied my bail because of the charges, everything like that. And I was pissed. So, I ended up, my lawyer, the guy that actually, one of the tow truck drivers, ended up getting incarcerated probably 2 days later after I got incarcerated. So when my lawyer went back up there for the bail reconsideration, I ended up getting a bail. They gave me a $20,000 bail, which that'd be like $2,500 that you gotta pay. Now I sit there for a month for $2,500 to pay $2,500, thinking my family gonna help. Man, that's another thing, man, that I wanna, make clear, a lesson that I learned, man. No matter how good you doing, no matter, who, no matter if they're your family or not. Like I said, I lost my mother. And my family member, this family member in particular, was like, man, as you lose your mother, if you need me for anything, just call on me. You know what I'm saying? And I got you. So I ended up calling on him, and he ended up dragging me along for probably a whole month, man. You know what I'm saying? So, the lesson I learned is, don't put your faith in other people. You know what I'm saying? If it's not your wife, your kids, don't put your faith in other people, not even your wife, sometimes, because at the end of the day, this is your life. So, that's one of the lessons I learned, man. I was mad at him at the time, and then it just was like, it's sad, it hurt, and I just moved on. I ended up calling my guy, probably like, because I sit there 70 days, so when I reach my 2 months, I see that my cousin ain't paying my bail, because I think I got bail when I was in there probably like a month and a half. So I'm thinking as soon as I got my bail, I waited like 2 weeks trying to see if my cousin gonna pay it. He didn't pay it. And then I called my guy, and I called the people that I was working with, doing the mentoring and things like that. They were gonna pay it, but when they called down to the county jail, you got an officer all in my business. I don't know if you want to pay that. You might lose your money because he got a PO hold, this and this and this and that. So they didn't pay it. One of my guys ended up paying it for me. So when my guy paid, they come give me the bail thing. And now it's like, okay, I got bail. Boom. Now it's a waiting game. I think they had like a week or so to come and get me from Milwaukee to let them know if they're going to come and get me or whatever. So The week went past. They didn't come and get me. Man, you talking about so happy. Boy, I was happy, man. 70 days come. They, Reggie, pack your stuff. You up out of here, man. Man, you talking about getting up out of there, man. I was livid, man. I loved it, man. Because like I say, I never been up in there and I never want to go back there, man. You know, I had a couple of guys up in there, Pimp Tight, Drees, a couple of my guys up in there, man, that I was cool with. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't something that I want to go back to. You know what I'm saying? So get out, man, chill. That didn't go to court. So it's strange, like Wisconsin, you go to court. Your case will probably be over within like 6 months, man, at the most. And if you're going to trial, then you may push a year, right? For me, looking at this, when I got out, man, I think I didn't go to court. My first court date was like a year and a half later. Yeah, first court date, year and a half later. And then when I get into court, man, the craziest part about the whole thing is when I get into court, my first court date, my lawyer went there, so I just go up in there and they like a status hearing. I don't know what a status hearing is, but I'm seeing people taking pleas, and I'm like, what the heck? This is my first court date. I ain't even really, get to talk to my lawyer. We ain't really go over everything. I'm thinking I'm gonna have a lot more time. So they set my next court date for a month later. Me and my lawyer end up going back a month later. I get into the courtroom and I'm sitting right there. Because I'm hoping they throw it out. They still don't want to throw it out. My lawyer like, no, they don't want to throw it out. They really want to get you. And so when I get up in there, she tell me, oh, they brought something new. They added a recidivism. So now, instead of the little 20, it was like something like 20-something years, my time doubled. Yeah, so my time doubled, man, to like 48 years. And then when I was really looking at it, they could even hit me with life for the reckless endangering safety, right? So that was crazy, right? So I'm like, so y'all want to hit me with recidivism because y'all really ain't got nothing on me. And y'all know I want to go to trial. So my lawyer like, Reggie, I wanted to go to trial, but when they hit you with this kind of raised the stakes. Because they went back to Milwaukee and pulled my record all the way back to 96. So they're telling me, and when they looked at my record was aggravated battery, robbery, and then drugs. That's the only 3 things I had on my record. So they said, well, you caught 3 felonies in a lifetime. We could give you the full 48 years if you go to trial and you don't get parole and you don't get probation. So you go to trial and you get found guilty, you get everything. And the judge's hands are tied because he got to max you out on every charge. So now things is looking ugly. I'm like, man, what's going on, man? Why am I going through this when I've been doing so good in my life, when I've been trying to stay straight, man, when I've been trying to stay on the right path, man? And I'm just asking God, man, God, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? So, when they tell me that, I'm like, well, regardless of what, I'm telling my lawyer, man, I may just have to go to trial because now, this is the crazy part. When I'm in court that day, the judge asked them, the DA, now this is my first time actually in court. Now remember I told you I went the first time, my lawyer went there and they just rescheduled me. So this is really my first time in court. My lawyer come and say that the DA really didn't look over my case, so the DA really don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? He got to look it over and then they going to go and then start the negotiations and all that stuff. The judge said, when she called me up, she said, is there a plea in the case? The DA gonna say, yeah, I got a plea for him. I tell my lawyer, what? Oh, hell no. Hell, you ain't even look at my case. You think I'm finna take a plea? Is you crazy? Right? So, my lawyer say, no, we ain't even listening to her. She ain't even give me the number that day. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, my lawyer them asked for a little more time because they could discuss and everything like that. So the judge said, okay, I'm gonna give y'all a week. She gave him a week to discuss it. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm waiting this week. I make sure I get all my stuff together. I call some of the people that I mentored. I called one of the board members of the organization that I was on the board of. Asked them for character letters. I end up writing a letter to the judge. So it's the day. So before I go to court, my lawyer tell me that the first plea was 20 and 5. I'm like, oh, heck no. But he did. She said, oh, then he come down. He said that you would do 10 to 3 because reckless endanger and all the stuff I had. They don't, and then my history, they don't want to give me no probation. So I'm telling my lawyer, no, now it's coming up a couple of days before court. I end up getting a different plea, and it's straight probation. So I'm like 10 years probation. If you do 5, good, you get off in 5. That's not. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I may take that. Didn't like it. And just trying to get stuff over with. Want to go to trial, but you see how these people stack stuff against you. So I'm like, okay. Boom, I say, okay, I'll take that. Boom. Day to go to court, day to go to trial, day to get sentenced. Get up in there, and the judge, I'm up in there, I'm cool. The judge come in, laugh, and she see me, she smile, hey, say, hey, I'm here, boom. So I get up to the stand to go on and do the plea. They go through the little questions, woo, 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 woo. Yeah, Your Honor, I'm guilty, this and this and this and that. The judge looks at the paper. Okay, after all that was said, I didn't get to say nothing yet. I just say I'm guilty, all of that, go through the motions. He's asking me, am I guilty? Do I understand the charges? Do I understand this? I'm telling him, yeah. Let's get this over with so I can go and get up out of here and go home. The judge looks at the paper. She say, I see you dropped the reckless endanger and safety. When she do that, I'm like, what's she doing? Okay, guys, yeah. I got cut off a little bit, man. You know, wife see me working, but she got stuff for me to do anyway. Anyway, the judge gets to looking at the paper. She like, y'all, you dropped the reckless endanger and safety, talking to the DA. And the DA like, yeah, it's like, why? Like, it seems like people are saying he banished the gun. And he like, yeah, a couple of guys, but it was conflicting stories, Your Honor. And I'm telling my lawyer, I'm looking at my lawyer, paid attorney, everything. I'm looking at her like, say something. Tell him I didn't have a gun. She ain't said Your Honor, is same like the DA. Most of the stuff is what the DA said. The guy didn't, they was just saying that he put it on the windshield, but he didn't point it at anybody and everything. And just looking at, like, yeah, and then the DA said, yeah, and a kid was in the car. And so the judge really looking like, what? So she say, so how is you talking about probation? My heart dropped. Oh. God, dog. Now, in my mind, if she don't take this, my mind, I'm re-snatching my plea back. I'm not taking no plea if you finna give me time in jail. Because I feel like if I go to trial, I could beat everything because I didn't do nothing. I'm only taking the plea because of all the time that over my head because of my history. Guys, I'm finna tell you, sometimes, this is a lesson to be learned. Sometimes a plea, people take a plea because I did not do this. I did not do this. But people take a plea because it's just, it make more sense than taking your chances going to trial and the time that's over your head. So you looking at the numbers. So probation made more sense than facing for life in prison to 48 years to me. Even taking a risk like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why. So when I get in there, so the DA gets to explain it like, no, Your Honor, well, some of the witnesses ain't cooperating. Now, I'm hearing all of this, like we can't get in contact with this witness and then you got conflict. Nah, it's like our case that we just don't feel like the jury is, it's a hard case to. And I'm looking at the DA like, I just should have went to trial, right? But these are all the thoughts that go through a person's head. And if you're not in the situation, please don't try to just say, I know it's going to be a lot of y'all on there. I just would have took it to trial. Yeah, well, that's you. You ain't me. I got a wife. I got kids. I got a family. My mom passed away, and I'm the person that got to take care of them. So, and I can't take care of them from no jail cell or no penitentiary, man. Yeah, so when he said that, so I'm like, oh, my God. You know, she like, the judge say, She said, you know, the DA could give you the plea, but I don't have to accept the terms of the plea. And woo, 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 woo. And I'm like, oh my God. So she like, so then I'm telling my attorney, here, give her the letters, to give her the letters. So I gotta yell it to my attorney until I wanna talk. I'm doing that until I wanna talk, give her the letters. Boom. So my attorney say, Your Honor, before, can I, here goes some letters for members of this community, woo, woo, woo. Can I give you these letters? She's like, yeah. Because she like, ugh. Boom. So she handed her the letters. And then, so the judge read over the letters real quick. And she like, also, Your Honor, my client would like to say something. So she like, go ahead. So I already had something written down. I go through my spiel. Boom, 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 boom. Member community, this, that, this, that. Just look over the overall thing, Your Honor. They was illegal, this and that. Please look over the overall thing and understand that this wasn't something that I was trying to do. This just something that came to me. You know what I'm saying? So she took all of that and she's like, so she said, look at your record, look at his record. And she was like, my mind, like, she's like, I go with the DA plea. She's like, I don't want to. She said, you know, I don't want to, but I'm gonna go with it. She's like, she's looking at the paper. She's like, only because you got these community people that came in a community, but I think you could have been charged with reckless endangering safety. But I'm gonna go with the DA offer, 10 years probation. Boom. Whew. Big relief rolls over my head. I'm like, oh my God. Guys, lesson learned. Regardless if you take a plea or not, don't go in there thinking it's just that simple. I don't care what your lawyer say. You know, them people go with where they at. They human beings, and they see something. Another lesson learned. Lesson 2. Get an attorney that's gonna talk for you. When I got this attorney, they seemed like they were a good attorney. They seemed like they were fighters. But when you get into that courtroom and you ain't got no attorney with a mouthpiece, interview y'all attorneys, man, if you do get in trouble. And last thing, man, you know, no matter what you doing in life, man, even if you change, man, you know, because I have changed. I don't go out here. I'm not in the streets. I'm not ripping and running the streets. I'm not uh, in no gangs. I pray every day. You know, I spend time with my family, and I try to raise my kids to be law-abiding citizens. I'm also helping out the community with financial literacy and things like that on a continuous basis. So I have changed, you know. But even with that being said, if you're a believer in God and God got things for you, uh, what's meant for you is meant for you. What's not meant for you is not meant for you. Okay? So me getting this 10 years, God might have a plan. I might could be doing something a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, and on the back end, we still got things going on with it. But yeah, man, that was the craziest moment of my life. You know, it really shook me. Even to this day, I'm trying to bounce back from it right now. So, you know, man, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Y'all appreciate my stories. Make sure you share, like, comment, and pass this on. I need to get my subscribers up, man, so I can get y'all more stories, man. Get even better, man. I got some stuff, man, that's gonna make y'all laugh. I got some stuff that's gonna make y'all be like, dang. So definitely subscribe. I appreciate y'all, man. Have a blessed day. Peace.